All right, welcome to a pop-up live. My apologies for not setting this up yesterday, so you actually, I don't know, had time to know it was coming. And in honor of that, we will feature a sharks and cats
kitten.
clock.
So my wife she asked me what I wanted from Japan. She went to Japan with our daughters. I said, you don't need to bring me anything. So she got me two things. She got me the flu, and then she got me this clock, which has kittens and sharks.
Which one did you like better, the flu or the clock? Or is it kind of a toss-up?
It's really you pick your poison kind of a thing.
But by the way, for those who don't know my brother, and you won't know this aspect, he doesn't like clutter. He doesn't like gathering things for the sake of gathering things. So knickknacks and things like that.
Yeah.
They aren't
high on my list.
aren't high on his list. It's not that he's not appreciative. It's just they don't hold value or meaning to him. So in some ways, it's a mild burden than.
I've got a Kit Kat clock here. I'm not collecting cat clocks here.
And if he's going to get knickknacks and things like that, he wants to pick them out. He doesn't want them gifted. You know, it's kind of one of those things that I don't like this, but I like this piece enough that I'm willing to add it to the collection. It's just respect it, understanding the giftee and their motivations. Well, I can't think of the last thing. Well, the only thing I've dumped on you are a bunch of crystals, but
that's fine. There you go. That's a working tool.
Exactly, and those can hide in those hide in the shed for the most part.
Well, that's when I do the readings in the shed. It's just otherwise I got to pull them out of the shed and bring them into the kitchen and vice versa.
Right. He only has one shed. He was thinking about getting
yes, our two sheds, Jackson.
Let's see. Looking at the comments, people saying hello, everyone. Go through. I'm not going to read everybody's name because that'll get out of hand real quick. But thank you everybody for joining us on such short notice. As I was driving to get my coconut black tie from Pete's today, I like iced coffees, and this one has some coconut syrup added to it, some condensed milk, and it is absolutely lovely. I got to listen a little bit to Dr. Lena. She just put up a video, and the main subject of it that I was listening to. Holy crap! We already got a donation.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you, Amy Sanders. Buy some knickknacks and junk food. She was saying that I guess Marjorie Taylor Greene's putting a little bit of daylight between her and Donald Trump. That she said that she because her president told her to vote with the continuing resolution, she did so, but isn't intending on doing that again. And she was also upset, I guess, that I don't know, it was something about foreign wars.
Yeah, she's upset that Trump is negotiating a minerals agreement with Ukraine, and she's upset with the negotiations with Iran because she feels that this is just going to end up in a conflict in Iran.
So the point that just literally as I was parking the car in the garage and getting out, the point Lena was making with that is MAGA or certain Trump supporters need to save face as they leave the cult of MAGA. And for like Marjorie Taylor Greene, it might be, I'm a huge patriot and big Trump supporter, as you all know, but all these foreign wars are just a bridge too far for me. And then that gives her a face-saving way of getting out of the cult. So you and Dr. Lena was saying, pay attention to that. Watch this as it unfolds because you might start seeing more and more of it. Thank you, Sandy Johnson. Really do appreciate it. That's not what she wanted. Gary's pulling his best Pete Exit.
Thanks, Sandy. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Actually, you're right now. You're doing your best Brett Kavanaugh. I like beer. Do you have a calendar behind you there?
It's over on that wall over here.
Well, that's too bad. You should have a calendar behind you. Then I know what you're going to be for Halloween. Okay, so folks, if you and Acadian Proud, thank you very much.
Thank you, Acadian Proud.
I don't know and I know Gary reads all his comments. Acadian Proud keeps trying to help us with the, breathe for 5 minutes and let go of the stress. With all the stress, it's not going to be 5 minutes, it's like 5 hours of breathing. If you have questions you'd like us to read on, go ahead and type them up in all caps. We know you won't be shouting. It's just a little bit easier when we're scanning up and down the comments to spot it. If you want to leave or end with emojis to bracket it, that's fine too. But all caps usually works pretty well with that.
Yeah, so David S. wanted to ask a political question, so fire away. That's what we're here for. That's what everyone enjoys.
Ronald Grump. Oh yeah. Witchy Gardens 19. Trump has a grudge against Sesame Street stopping funding. Raw Story yesterday explained why. The character from the late 80s, early 90s, Ronald Grump. Pictures are hilarious. That's right. I think it was a brown or an orange Oscar the Grouch. It was like his cousin or something. Which, I mean, I could get why Trump would be upset about something like that. But at the same time, dude, you're immortalized in Sesame Street.
Yeah. That's like having Weird Al Yankovic parody your song. You've made it.
Thank you, Cindy Grogan. Really appreciate it. Where is Elon Musk and what is he doing? Well, we used to know where he was because you had that one guy on Twitter that used to post wherever his
wherever his plane was.
Exactly. Let me see if I can star some things here. But we don't get to have that anymore. What is Elon Musk? I want to look. Let's go ahead and look at Elon Musk. Yeah. When I've done readings on him in the past, what I've gotten from him is that he's very, very concerned about his money. And I think part of it is he is so far out of his lane with everything. He's so far out of his lane with everything that he's done with slashing jobs with the government and, going on his little vendetta tour that he realizes the jig is up. Thank you, Rose Blue.
And the number one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do just a quick spread. What do you want to read? What do you want to read, Gary? Do you want to read what he's doing? Or you want to read what's on his mind?
I'll do what he's doing.
Okay, then I'll do what's on his mind. Okay.
What's he up to? Oh, he's making babies.
I wouldn't be surprised when all else fails, go to making babies. As he seems to be pretty good at that. Prolific, anyways.
So the Lover's card is the foundation. It could be making babies, could be building relationships. I mean, he certainly destroyed a lot over the last few months. Taking stock of what his resources and what's going on around him, paying the price for reaping what you're sowing. Three of Pentacles, collaboration, working with people, plotting your next steps. All Pentacles here. Queen of Pentacles, taking care of business, taking care of your babies, negotiating pregnancies. And there's that Ten of Swords, man. This card has been coming up like crazy. End of a cycle. It looks like he's working on relationships, looking at his money, evaluating options, because he's seeing that if he does not do this, his career, his current career is coming to an end.
I'm wondering. Take it back down again. Again, he's got 11 different babies, or he's got a bunch of baby mamas.
Yeah, he wants to have 5,000 kids. Someone was saying in the comments, just something ridiculous.
I'm wondering if folks are lining up to make sure they've got child support lined up with him. Also,
maybe.
Just put that on the back burner. That could also, it's obviously you have a mother, having sex, you have mothers, you have negotiations in the background, and how many more seeds can I spread here? But at the same time, you got to pay for all that. Mm-hmm. That's not cheap.
Well, he is the world's richest man, so
yeah.
It just That's funny because I had no idea. I figured it'd be all about, getting back into the saddle at Tesla or boring his tunnels or going to Mars. That was not what I was expecting to be reading on.
Okay, so that's what he's currently in. I was going to do what he's feeling, kind of. So,
Yeah.
whoops, that's exit full screen. That's not quite what I wanted. All right, so what do I got here? This is what I wanted.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Down. What's Elon feeling? And there's that Nine of Wands. There's a nervousness. There's something coming, and he knows it's coming. And I bet you that's probably not the criminal charges right now on the forefront. This is probably his job. Oh, I could be wrong. The devil. Whatever it is, it's his corrupt actions that he's brought upon himself. He's worried, and there's a Ten of Swords. These are terrible cards. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, there's a Ten of Swords again.
Yeah, as I was going to say, corrupt actions that he's done that's going to bring an end, and he knows it's coming, and there's like nothing he can do about it. It's his actions that he's taken, and he might have an emotional breakdown, if that's even possible. I don't know if he has emotions. If he had emotions, he'd have an emotional breakdown, but it might even cause him to be even more Elon-like. There was
a story that came out that was saying that they were looking to replace him at Tesla. They were starting to look at recruiting firms to get a new CEO in, and then he came back and said it was fake news, and some Tesla came back and said, "Oh, how dare you say that it's fake news?" But if I look at those cards, that sure seems like, maybe he's on the outs at Tesla, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, I that's my guess on that. He's I don't think Tesla's got to be searching when you've got it's because there are board members out there, not board members, but there are big investors out there that were calling for his thing. For his release. You've got the stock price cratering, and it's all on him.
Yeah.
And how do you get out from underneath that?
He good, bad, or indifferent. He is the face of Tesla, and as Tesla's fortune goes, so do his.
So Rose wants to know what deck you're using. So go ahead.
Okay, so my deck is a Black Forest Vintage Tarot deck. I got it on Etsy. The seller has been out of stock for a while on it, but there are other versions of this deck out there. It was $25 on Etsy.
Okay. Folks want to know, about the Autism Registry. Is that going to go through?
What the heck is that?
Oh, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wants to start a autism registry. He wants everybody who has autism to be in a national register so that they can track all the cases of autism in the United States and probably use AI to try and find causes for it or get more information on it. Now, on the one hand, if this was like some really benevolent person, I could see where this could be used for good. But RFK Jr. is crazy. Mm-hmm. And given the fact that we've got a far-right fascist style government in place, it reeks of eugenics from late 1930s Germany.
I was going to say, are you going to put him in those concentration camps?
Exactly. So I know Sterling did a reading on this, and he said they've already got the information. It was part of the stuff that Doge and Elon Musk got through with his little incels. But the other thing they're looking at, Gary, is they're looking like basically getting information from people's smartwatches and things like that. And it's like, this is a total violation of HIPAA.
Yeah, that was my first thought. Is this mandatory? I mean, good Lord. So, what are they going to do? Go after the people that have peanut and poultry allergies next? And
well, exactly. Who's next? Okay, so will they actually go forward with this autism registry?
What I was reading was they're starting to see a linkage between the diabetes you get when you're pregnant. Is that gestational? I might be using the wrong term. But if the mothers get that diabetes when they're pregnant, they're starting to see a link between that and folks that have autism.
Okay, so I know that again, here are my cards coming up. Foundation of the reading is temperance, a detoxification. It may not happen right away, but I think there will be a registry for autism because they don't know what's causing it. But if they gather up all the data that they can, so this could be this can make it voluntary. If people share what they know about autism and all the things, you can help fight something that's causing illness on people. The King of Swords is interesting. It could be voluntary, but you might be voluntold. This one leads a little bit more like it. I think it's going to go in there, and with that King of Swords, it makes it look like you're not going to really get to have the choice. You're going to be forced to do it. One of the ways that this might happen, and I'm making something up right off the top of my head, so forgive me. This would be like when you sign an insurance waiver to get medical insurance. There's going to be in there some clause saying that if you sign up for this medical insurance, you have to share information for the autism database or some type of data. You have to share information for some type of database. That could be what that King of Swords is. It's like, you're going to do this. Oh, it'll be voluntary. But yeah, the alternative is you don't get to have insurance at all. So good luck with that.
Yeah. Sure, there won't be any lawsuits on that.
That's not the answer I want to give you, but that's the answer that I'm getting from that. Let's see. I'll have Gary answer this next question.
What's the next one?
Comrade, you can answer that one.
What will happen May 9th in Russia? Hey, David, May the 4th be with you.
Oh, God. Yes. So today is May 4th. It is known as Star Wars Day because May the 4th, then be with you, which is
unless you're on the other side of the date line.
Which Caesar wasn't in Monty Python? The seven silly savages.
Oh,
biggest dickest.
Biggest dickest.
Exactly.
Biggest dickest had a list. I don't know what's going on May 9th. Let me see. So I guess I'm perfect for this.
Yeah, exactly. You're going in blind. It'll be a Friday, so something on a Friday.
On May 9th. Well, you got the Five of Swords. We've been seeing this as the stealing the election. This is kind of this card is the win at all costs, not knowing, keep fighting even though you should have stopped.
It can also be losing too.
Yep. The main clarifier is the Queen of Wands. There's lots of things going on. The Queen of Wands is the ultimate multitasker. Having a whole bunch of balls in the air. You got the Star, the best of democracy. You've got the it's kind of the highlight, if you will. Whatever you're really good at. Whatever makes you shine. You've got the water pouring into the lake and onto the ground, so it could be an emotional time or releasing bad emotions. The Five of Cups, that speaks for itself. Sorrow, unhappy about the way things are developing. There are positives, but you're not focused on the positives. You're only focused on the negatives. And underneath it, justice. The kind of that reaping what you sow. You're going to be held accountable for your actions.
Yeah,
what's going on May 9th?
Often somebody was saying they think there's a Russian military parade.
Oh,
now to me, when I see the Queen of Wands, I focus on the sunflowers. So this could be the battle in Ukraine, the disappointing results with it. And I forgot what your card on the outside was.
You got the Star.
Oh, the star card. It's shining a light on the fact that this war isn't going as well as it should.
Well, you were supposed to be the second best army in the world, and you're finding out you're the second best army in Ukraine.
Exactly.
You're not all that.
And Bionatic Granny says Gary and David are the best twin tarot channel on YouTube. Also,
Yay!
she never got called out on Romper Room either.
Oh no! Well,
I can't imagine Bionatic was one of the most common names out there, but I'm surprised Mr. McMahon didn't get to it.
We'll give you a shout out here and a secret shout out card.
Okay.
Yes, the Six of Cups. Yes, we all look back fondly at our youths, and except for Romper Room when you didn't get called out. Thank you so much for your contribution. We truly appreciate that. Will the billionaires in the U.S. ever have to tax at the rate the rest of us do? No. Good Lord. That's a great question, because could you imagine all of the programs that could be funded if everyone just was paying their fair share?
Exactly. And I think that's really the way to phrase it. It's not necessarily at the rate that we do, but paying their fair share. Whatever fair is.
I'll tell you what fair isn't. Fair isn't a flat tax like a tariff that impacts everyone equally dollar-wise, but has a very disproportionate impact on the percentage of disposable income. Right. Which is what a tariff does. You know, if you've got $10 million of disposable income and you got to pay an extra $100 for your medications, that's one thing. If you've got $1,000 of disposable income and you have to pay $100 extra for your medications, that is a big problem.
Ukraine said they couldn't be responsible for what could happen to dignitaries who attend the May 9th parade.
Oh my! Oh, jeez.
That's a mild little threat, wouldn't you say?
Oh my.
Okay, so will billionaires have to pay tax?
Think about it. Ukraine has the ability to reach. I'm assuming it's in Moscow. They have the ability to reach there. And if Putin's going to put all his troops in the middle of cluster them together.
Well, yeah, certainly. Yeah, you're going to be putting military hardware and a bunch of troops in tight formations walking around.
That's like that bold charge through the minefield under the cover of daylight.
Exactly. Through General Rimmer. Okay, billionaires. Will they ever have to pay their fair share?
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. For Carter for that one. There we go.
Oh,
there's
there
the good start for oligarchs and billionaires. Ace of Wands, the Empress, the Lover's card. Yeah, there's the vibe underneath the Queen of Swords. Hey, you know what? This is just the matter of fact type of thing. $100 to you is nothing. $100 to somebody who's making minimum wage is a ton. You know, there's got to be some fairness in there. Everybody needs to be taken care of. There's going to be a push for this to happen because it benefits society as a whole.
Yep.
And it also will take down the temperature. Again, with the United Healthcare murder, people were very upset. You know, they weren't very sympathetic with the CEO that got gunned down. Just to put that out there, and to take the temperature down, it's you feel like you're not getting your value for it. This you're getting family members kicked off of coverage. You're not getting coverage for it while this company's making billions off of you. Yeah, you need to. Yeah, it will happen. How quickly, I'm not sure, but I think it'll happen sooner rather than later. We just need a change of government.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the card I liked on that was the the Empress, because it's just like you can share the wealth.
Yeah,
everyone can benefit from the abundance of this country. It doesn't have to just be in the hands of a few.
Exactly. Okay, so what else do we have here?
It was Kamala coming back.
Well,
I can tell you what Gary the analyst is going to say.
Katie Porter is put her paperwork in to be the governor of California. But she said, from what I've read, I don't think I've read the exact story. I've read people making comments about it, and maybe I saw a title. But basically, she said she would pull out of the race if Kamala Harris announced she was running for the governor of California.
Mm.
So, and I know that other readers, probably Linda G, Kamala Harris could, or even Susan Lynn, Kamala Harris could go for the presidency again, especially if things get overturned, or she might go for something a bit gentler, like governor of California, which is basically like being the president of the fourth largest economy in the world.
Yeah. Let's see.
And you'll be loved as opposed to despised.
Okay, so do you think she's coming back? Okay, foundation of the reading, 9 of Wands. Man, she is battle weary.
Oops, hold on for a second. I meant to adding that to the thing. Let me get back to my start here.
Yeah, so she's there you go. Okay, let me move my card up.
While Gary's reading, I'm trying to feed through the comments and star things for people's questions.
Yeah, so she definitely had to fight the battles. She's very tired of that. Emotional, you got the Ace of Cups as the main clarifier. So she's got more to give. She's emotionally coming back. She needed to take a break to get her emotions back. She's seeing what's happening with Trump and the oligarchs, not happy about it. It's time for to take some new actions. And what a card to have underneath it. The 7 of Swords. I was reading this as if this was about being a governor, coming back as a governor. That 7 of Swords kind of makes me wonder, is it going to be something a little higher up than governor? But it's, once again, I did a reading on this. It did fairly well, but I'm thinking that the likelihood that information is going to come out that's going to be compelling and convincing people that this election was that there was fraud in the election and it's going to be overturned and that she's going to be reinstated. Boy, that is a shot in the dark and slim. But when I throw cards on it, it's just like, it sure seems to indicate that might be the case when you've got the 7 of Swords underneath it. So, David, in case you weren't looking, foundation was the 9 of Wands, tired, battle tired, Ace of Cups, getting emotionally recharged and getting my passions back, seeing what the oligarchs are doing. It's time for new actions. And then underneath it, the 7 of Swords.
Yeah. It basically, and I think that fits again with what Linda G was saying, that right now she's like, do I want this? Do I really want this? Now, the King of Pentacles probably aligns with the fundraising that you're seeing. Start raising money for the DNC, but it's kind of the, do I want this job? Do I really want this job? Or Ace of Wands, do I take a new job doing something else? And again, she would win. If she were to run for governor of California, she would most likely win that handily.
Yeah.
Assuming that she has the Democratic, Katie Porter would give her a strong ass run for her money. But Katie Porter's not the type that would run against Kamala Harris. It would be like, I'm willing, if I'm willing to wait for Kamala, I'm not waiting for anybody else.
Yeah.
Katie Porter's my girl. I love Katie Porter and her whiteboard.
Well, it's because she could take a somewhat complex topic and break it down into crayons,
Gary, about a year ago, Gary did not know who Katie Porter was.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude, it's like, you'll love her. She's a Democrat in an orange county, and she wins. And I probably sent you a couple of videos of her taking apart pharma CEOs and stuff like that. Just, here's your money you say you're spending on research, but look at all this is on stock buybacks and corporate bonuses for executives. Look how that pales in comparison to this little dot, which is your R&D research. How do you justify raising the prices of your products? And they just sit there going, they don't have an answer for her because facts are hard.
Yep.
We talked
Jedi
about,
Master. I've not seen that. I guess that's a good May the 4th one. We
yeah,
got a reading coming up tomorrow about Trump posting pics himself as the Pope. Stay tuned for that one.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to read on that one. I'll give you my personal opinion. It's always about him.
Yeah.
Every day is his birthday type of thing. May the 4th can't be about celebrating Star Wars. It has to be about celebrating Trump. I assure you tomorrow at Cinco de Mayo, there's going to be a picture of him with a sombrero riding a donkey with a Corona beer and a bit and like bandoliers across him or something. Like
What
that.
it'll be is he'll be like drinking a beer, watching a bunch of people with sombreros paying for a wall that he's building.
Oh yeah, probably the country that's going to be paying for my wall as the wall's being built. Who knows?
Oh no, Rose Blue, the Vatican responded. What did they say?
We'll get. Let's see.
Is the Supreme Court ever going to admit their error and revoke presidential immunity and place the guardrails back?
Yeah, Rose Blue. Anybody who's, I don't have my phone out here. If you want to type in real quick, I can't imagine the Vatican said anything of this is really tacky. Stop making it about yourself. We're still in mourning. Go F off, you orange twat waffle. I'm sure it was something, whatever the biblical speak for orange twat waffle was, that's probably what they said. Yeah, unsurprisingly, the Vatican was not amused. I'm not surprised either. We are not amused.
I wonder what twat waffle, how that translates in Italian. Supreme Court could admit their error to revoke presidential immunity and place the guardrails back. Let's take a look. Hopefully we'll see that temperance card show up. Okay, you got the Seven of Wands, battling, fighting, defending their decisions. Maybe we were a little rash and hasty in our decision making.
Impossible.
Yeah. This has been an upwelling of emotion about this decision. It's the Nine of Swords creating this anxiety and nightmare situation for us. And the Six of Cups underneath it, that kind of that nostalgia. It's almost like wanting to go back to those good old days when everyone got along. But you've also in this card, there's a gentleman that's like walking away. And I'm going to show the underneath card, which is like, maybe we should start walking this back because underneath it, we've really chained ourselves to something that maybe isn't a good idea. And we're starting to understand that that's not a good idea. Just starting to get all these major arcana underneath it. So I think so, actually. I think it may not be completely revoked in as much as they will put a much tighter box around it. That's what I'm thinking. Italian.
Just in case you were curious.
Schiochezza. Che schiochezza.
From my perspective here, they have to overturn it. They have to. I mean, they have to realize they have overstepped it. They may not overturn it while he's president and while he's got culpability, but the minute he no longer has culpability, even the conservatives will overturn it, as so long as it's a Democrat that's in the office.
Yeah.
They will ride that horse of totalitarianism as far as they can, but the minute they can't, they'll get rid of it. And now, picture also if the Democrats get in charge and they get enough Supreme Court members, the Democrats will overturn it regardless because it's a ridiculous ruling.
Yep.
All right. What did I pick up here? Is one of the reasons for canceling FEMA is so that consulting firms can be hired to handle disaster. See, now you're getting it, Katie. I'm proud. You're getting it. This is always about the grift. It is always about privatization of public money. Just like the holy grail for them has been Social Security. They've been wanting to privatize Social Security for years, but it never occurred to me about why would they cancel FEMA. I mean, why would you do that? This is the federal government helping all the states out. Until you put it with that privatization type thing, it's like, duh, I'm such a schmuck. But let's take a look. Is this all about the money?
Money, 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 money.
All about the money. Hey, Gary.
Yeah. I know. I saw Alf's comment. Yeah, better hustle up.
Alf, welcome to the chat. Glad you can make it.
Good to see you, cowboy.
All right. Is this all about privatization? Okay, we got the Eight of Cups, the Hierophant, ending things, Four of Wands, and Judgment. I think it probably is, but it's about all government assistance, all government compassion being removed and brought to an end. They don't like the government doing it. They want to shut this down. But I think it's more what's happening here. The Republicans always message about the government's really inefficient and we need to end all these programs and make a smaller government and really think about what we want to do. If they shut down FEMA, I don't doubt it's because of grifting, but I think that maybe something comes in, either something comes in that replaces it that's better, or there's going to be consequences for shutting down FEMA that's going to cause the people that shut it down to be removed from power. This shutting it down is basically cutting off your nose to spite your face. It's not going to work, and it's going to have unintended consequences.
Yeah, having worked a little bit with FEMA in my current role, they are very good about getting out there and making sure you have monies available to address the disaster you're going through. Now, on the back end, sometimes the reimbursements don't happen. When you go to file your claims, they may claw some of the money back because there's you have to procure your services in the manner that the federal government wants you to procure them. You can't just pick up the phone, call your buddy who owns a bunch of dump trucks so that he can fill them full of debris, storm debris, and drive them off. You have to procure it with bids and make it fair and transparent. And so there's a bunch of criteria you have to meet when you do a FEMA claim. And if you don't meet those criteria, FEMA is going to get reimbursed. So you will end up, the public agency will end up on the hook. But if you follow the process and you do everything according to the federal government standards, the federal government gives you the money and you get to keep it to address that emergency. It's a great program, but you have to really document what you're doing and follow the rules.
Would it cover money going to your governor's wife's private charity and then being donated to other charities who funnel it back to a super PAC, which goes back to your campaign manager to help fund your re-election campaign?
Yes, that is a very good use of FEMA funds. Hey, it's Lily Larson. Hi, Lily. How's Balder doing?
Okay, Tara wants to know if 45 is going to be decertified this year.
Oh. Well, I guess he'd be 47, right? Thank you so much, Lily. Thank you so much for your donation. We truly appreciate that.
Is that this one for me? You just read on FEMA, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on. Let's see what we got. Will 45 be decertified this year? Okay, this is now I will caveat this. I'm sorry. You want to see me shuffle like watching paint dry. Thanks, I would like nothing more than to see 45/47 fall on his face, be decertified, showed he cheated, and utterly publicly humiliated and dragged for it. Trust me, that appeals to me on so many levels. But for the fear of wish casting, it just doesn't look like it's happening, even if it is happening in the background. They're being really good at not telling anybody anything. But let's just see. No promises here. I guess that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
All right. Will he be decertified? King of Pentacles. Well, if he is, it's going to be due to wealthy people. Two of Wands, there's planning. The World card. Oh, interesting. Empress. King of Cups. What do we have here? Will he be decertified? I don't know if it's answering the question. We have wealthy people and mature people making decisions, impacting the world, planning that's going on, taking care of folks. Whether or not these decertification that's happening, what I am seeing is that wealthy people throughout the world like having their money. And if Trump is impacting their money, they're going to do something to remove him. So whether it's decertification or some other way, when wealthy people are tired of not being worried about their money, they will start taking action to end his cycle, and so that they can have their wonderful life again.
So, Tara, I was asking, I threw cards on, well, will it happen in 2026? Because when we did, when I did the reading on, that came out on Friday as to whether he will be removed from office.
Oh, you did a reading on this?
Yeah. It was kind of like a 2026 time frame. So I said, okay, well, instead of this year, will it be next year? So I've got the foundation, I got the death card. So you're coming to the end of the cycle. You got the 10 of Wands. It's another end of cycle card. Just this big burden. You've got your Knight of Pentacles sitting back and observing. You got the Judgment card standing up and answering the call. And once again, the same as David underneath it, I got the King of Cups. And so when I'm looking at this and I was listening to Dave's reading, it's like, okay, well, does that fit with the oligarchs? If you kill the economy because you're putting too much of a burden on everyone, people are going to stop spending their money and they're going to hold on to their monies. Then the people that are impacted are going to rise up and protest. And those rich people, or the people that Dave was saying underneath it, the folks that like their money and are of more emotional stability, might move forward in removing him. So it might not be so much of a decertification as a removal, unless the death card is more literal.
Right.
That he has some sort of health event that causes people
his
to
removal.
say, yeah, this is not the direction we want to go.
And Lily Larson gave us 100 DKKs.
Thanks, Lily. Cheers.
Okay.
Hey, so Lily, just so you know, I know this is not really in your country, but we're Laura and I just bought tickets. We're going to Oktoberfest in Munich this year. So maybe I should do some tarot readings in Germany. Oh, hello. For those of you who like cats.
Well, it's got to be Punky, right?
It's got to be Punky, right? Hey, buddy, how are you? How you doing? You having a good day?
Much in the same way that Elle doesn't join us, but Nico will.
Yeah.
Okay, do we see the orange peel dying naturally or of assignments?
That's a great YouTube word right there. We know what you mean, and it won't get flagged.
Exactly.
I'm going to get him a treat. You can read on that. You want
Okay.
something? All right.
Blow up here. All right. Donald Trump, his ultimate demise, will it be due to natural causes? Four Carter. Probably. It'll probably, well, it won't matter for us, right? Dancing in the streets, as Linda G would say. Seven of Swords. Oh, something losing. Four of Cups. The Chariot. I don't think he's being assassinated, although this card would being assigned. Although this card would be it. It would almost be like, yeah, you know what? It's going to be natural causes. It's going to be brain related. It's going to be one of those ones where he goes. Some people aren't going to be happy. Others are going to be celebrating. He's losing his mental sharpness. Swords are about intelligence. His mental sharpness is losing. It's progressive, and his memory is gone. So I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be natural causes, and it'll most likely be. This is also a card of family. It's not maybe not the Ten of Pentacles, but it's going to be a familial type thing. So just like his father went, he will go.
Mm-hmm.
He won't be in office. It won't be his office. He'll be out of office. He'll be in private life. He may not even be in the country when it happens. That type of thing. If he has any fear that he's going to prison, he won't be in this country. If he has no fear of going to prison because he's not medically competent or intellectually competent enough to go into prison, then he'll be sticking around. That's kind of what I'm getting for this.
Hey, hold on a second. Mila gave us a donation there.
Oh,
and it's the kind you like.
Let's see. We got two of them here. We got a super sticker from Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
And a super sticker from Mila.
Thank you, Mila. Mila's going to get the sprinkling.
Well, then what is Touch Therapy for Kids going to get with the suggestions for T-shirts?
I saw that come up. It definitely struck my sense of humor.
Tom Homan.
Oh, good grief.
Your buddy. He's like right up there with Stephen Miller as being the worst of the worst.
He's going to arrest the governor? Why? He said something really mean to me. Okay, I'm going to have to look this up. I don't know what this is about.
And Christina at Green Meadows, Sweden, also says, for two guys that talks politics with some kind of laughter.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. I appreciate that. Cheers.
Hey, Gary, you going to make a visit over to Sweden? I want to go to Sweden. That sounds.
I would love to. I think we're going to go to the Czech Republic this time. I have not been to the Czech Republic, so.
Are you going to say something witty like "check, please"?
No, I'll go to the town of Pilsner.
Pilsen. I've lost my question. Where was it? It was Alf's question I had. Where did it go? I lost the question. Oh.
Don't lose the questions. About Tom Homan?
Yeah, about Homan. I must have hit the star on it. Anyways, carry on.
Homan arrest governor. I don't know what this is about. Governor. Let's see. I spelled governor wrong. Oh, ICE guidance. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm not afraid. Okay, so it sounds like it's one of those situations where he's probably not playing ball. Tony Evers is probably not playing ball with ICE, and Homan's probably threatening him.
Okay, you are right. Okay, thank you. Homan is the word. Homan is the mastermind behind separating kids from their parents and putting kids in cages back in 2017. That led me to my first protest that I ever went to.
Yeah,
I went to downtown San Francisco at the ferry building for a protest down there. Because screw those guys.
Okay, so
but I'm sure he's a good Christian.
Oh God. Okay, so how's this looking for Governor Evers? So right now, the foundation is temperance. He's trying to find a balance. I'm sure Evers he wants to comply with the laws, but he's trying to do it in a humane and caring way. There's the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, right? And ultimately, what you want is the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law. The main clarifier is the Knight of Pentacles. He's taking more of a sit back and observe type of role. I'm sure what Homan wants him is to not have the Temperance card, but rather the Knight of Swords, and just do what I tell you and do it as fast as you can. And don't worry about who dies in the process. Homan's got the Queen of Pentacles. He wants to take care of the people, take care of the people around him. The Eight of Cups, walking away from this because Homan's narrative is it's so dark and it's so just wrong on so many levels. If you've overstayed your visa or you've come into the country illegally, you know what? There should be a process for doing this, but that doesn't mean, pulling these kids out of schools or, raiding the schools because they know the parents are going to show up. There's more humane and balanced approaches to this. Underneath it, there's probably a way that we can work together and make a process to make this better. I think Homan's going to be okay.
Not Homan, you mean Evers.
Evers, sorry. I think Evers is going to be okay. He doesn't like the harsh approach that Homan is trying to shove down his throat. That's how I'm getting it.
Okay.
Those are definitely not Homan cards.
Rose Blue has opinions.
Thank you, Rose Blue. We agree. Hey, there was a couple super stickers that came flying through there. One was a very generous contribution. Yay! Thanks, Leslie. Woo-hoo-hoo! That might call for a second beer.
God. And Chrissy Rose, thank you very much for the super sticker. I can't remember. I don't think I showed this one either. In Durham.
No, Durham Garbutt.
Garbutt.
You are really close to the nickname that one of my friends gave me in middle school. It wasn't my first name, but it was our last name, Butt. Donna Byron used to call me Battaglia Butt.
That's right, huh? Okay. Let's see. Axios is reporting Stephen Miller may replace Mike Waltz's old spot. Super scary, but will it happen? That's an interesting one because right now we think Stephen Miller. No, you know what? Stephen Miller's got he's like the deputy secretary of something or another. He's actually got a fancy title. But you know what? Trump loves he loves all the power being in a group of people's hands. Let me get Stephen Miller's title real quick here. I can't type. Deputy Chief of Staff. Let's see. Let's see if he gives it to him. Right now Marco Rubio's doing everything, which I did a reading on that when that went up this morning. Will Rubio basically be thrown under the bus because it's, if you're looking for that last person to throw underneath there before it gets to you, Rubio's like the Secretary of State. He's now like a national security advisor and a couple other things. It's it's all him. It's him. He's the one who did all this, not me, because Trump leadership. But let's see, Stephen Miller.
Little Marco Rubio is really ingratiating himself to the orange one.
And I did the reading thinking, now, how is he doing? And it looks like this is exactly what he wants. The dude's in his element. He wants all this power. And that was not what I was expecting. Stephen Miller, though, what do I get for him? Two of Swords. Okay. Choices, crossroads, maybe two jobs. King of Cups. I think this is Stephen Miller's. He likes his role as the Grand Vizier, whispering into Trump's ear. Oh, Hangman reverse. That doesn't happen very often. Being thrown under the bus on this one. King of Swords, the Chariot. There's a progression. It could, got a couple of King's cards here, Cup and Swords. I would not be surprised if Stephen Miller does this. And I think it's, you know what? I think what we've got coming on here is Trump. Mike Waltz got thrown under the bus, and Stephen Miller may be part of that. But he's now the UN ambassador to the UN, so it's not like really a thrown under the bus. And here's the bus here. Trump is, I think, trying to decide if he wants to go with his emotional choice or with the intellectual choice. And Stephen Miller, I'm torn. I was about to say, well, he's the emotional choice because he whispers in Trump's ear and he plays on Trump's emotions, but he might also be the intellectual choice too. Because I don't think he's stupid. He strikes me as conniving, slimy, sneaky, backstabby, and he's just like perfect. So I'm going to say yes on that one. My intellectual side says no. Stephen Miller is as deputy chief of staff. I think that means he's like second in command to Susie Weil, which means that he basically runs Trump's day-to-day. Susie Wiles runs day-to-day, and I think he helps her do it. But this might be one of those ones where Trump rewards loyalty. You know what I mean? Because that's how he rolls with it.
Hey, there's a couple great comments that came rolling through. If I can find it. So Susie Zuki made a nice comment. She goes, "I'd love to donate, but my money goes to baby diapers, $100 a month, Gerber $100 a month, formula $100 a month." And I told her, thank you. We appreciate that. That's kind of you. I'm sure Milani's appreciative of your kind donations for diaper and baby food. And then Martha Spillman has a comment. Stephen Miller has a title, all right, but you'll get kicked off YouTube if you say it. Will the Autism Registry be used to decide on trying to force lobotomies on higher autistics to control them and keep them from having any children?
Go back to the man with the funny mustache back in the late 30s.
That's kind of what Dave was talking about earlier, and it was kind of one of those concerns I had as well. It's like, this is really private and personal information. It's no one's damn business. If it's a voluntary database, that's one thing, but Dave challenged the benevolence of RFK Jr. and why he'd want that.
Yeah. In a normal administration, the benefits for gathering all this data and letting AI attack and dig around in the data could be amazing. But I don't trust this administration to implement this with people's rights and privacy taken into account. So I think it will happen. Let's see. Well, this is actually getting dark. Will they go down the dark path with this?
Okay, let's see. I've got Queen of Wands.
Let me hide the comment real quick here because it's blocking your screen.
Yeah. So I just go lower. So I've got Foundations, Queen of Wands.
How very non-Michelle Obama of you.
Yes. It's all about RFK's got a whole bunch of things he wants to get done. So you got the Three of Cups, not being happy with the choices that you're being offered or what you're seeing. So, maybe there's the pushback on the database. Let's see. There's so much he wants to do. But people are unhappy about it. It's going to be a lot of messaging that's happening. You have a choice. And it's about keeping things, okay, so will there be lobotomies? I don't think so. It's certainly an action that he might be willing to take. But I think right now what I'm getting from this is there's going to be pushback. If this is a database where you have a choice of putting your information or not, it'll be fine. But it's about maintaining your privacy, keeping things close, not oversharing your medical information. So what I suspect is going to happen is that the people that are in the registry will be there because they feel that they've made the choice to be part of it. It's not going to be.
I don't think we're far enough into this regime for that to happen yet. People still have rights. They're used to having rights, and they don't want them taken away anytime soon.
Yeah. Hey, so if you're a Formula One fan, it's
no spoilers. No spoilers. Okay, Trump's birthday parade. Is it going to happen?
Oh man.
Nothing like the Department of Government Efficiency. I know how they can save $40-50 million. And there's the money. It's raining cash. High Priestess, the wealthy man, poor mouse. Will he get it? I think he wants it. He absolutely wants it. This is something that he really, really wants. They're going to try and talk him out of it. They're saying the timing's not good right now because of the economy. When's his birthday? His birthday's in May.
June 14th.
June 14th.
Flag Day. Come on, you remember growing up how important Flag Day was? We used to march around the house with our flags every June 14th.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'm really sorry to hedge on this. It's not decided yet. He wants it. He absolutely wants it. He feels like he deserves it. Folks are going to try and talk him out of it, saying the timing's not good because of the economy. I would say it's 75% likely to happen because he wants it to happen. Mm-hmm. And to me, 25% unlikely because people will be talking to him. And it really is going to be what's happening with the economy and reading the room. That's where I see it happening with that.
Yeah, I've got similar cards as you. Foundation is the King of Pentacles. Hey, I'm in charge. I'm the big man. I want this for me. Yeah. There's probably some pushback. He's not happy with the options they're giving him. I'm sure he wants tanks and anti-aircraft guns, 21 gun salute with anti-aircraft and, all sorts of flyovers and helicopters. It's probably a scaled down version. He wants for his legacy, I'm the king of the government, and I want this. This is for me. But the key one here is he's not happy with what he's being offered.
Yeah.
So I suspect that there will be some sort of parade. It won't be as grand a scale as he wants. That's kind of my gut on that.
Okay, I think we got some super stickers. I can't remember. Lucy Ruiz, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey,
yay! Woo!
Yeah, Heidi Walter.
Oh, goodness. Woo!
Oh yeah, I should probably. There you go. Get your sigh on there.
do the butt spanking. Woo! Rodeo guy.
Let's see. Do you both see the winding down of the Ukrainian-Russian war towards the end of the year? And will Ukraine find peace and join NATO?
Well, I'll tell you what. Putin sure doesn't want to join NATO.
Mm-mm. I'll do the NATO part if you want to do the.
Yeah, I was going to do the winding down of the conflict. Well, okay, so will we see the winding down of the war at the end of the year? Okay, Page of Pentacles. New actions being taken. Not going to happen. Oh boy, this is a mix. Okay, so Foundation, the Page of Pentacles. So bringing forth a new idea or a new proposal that and once again, Ace of Wands, it's also about starting new actions, not being happy with the options you're given. There's another option out there. You just got to look for it. Building a relationships, but underneath it, you've got the Four of Pentacles, wanting to keep everything for yourself. It's kind of an interesting reading. I think that what this may be saying is that there may be a peace negotiation that one side is not going to be happy with how this negotiation has gone.
Yeah, looking at that, you've got to compromise when nobody's happy.
Yeah,
and I suspect it's a ceasefire. There's a new ceasefire that's put in place, which is also the Two of Cups. It basically halts the hostilities, and then you're trying to figure out how much land Russia's going to keep.
Well, that's certainly my gut feeling of that Four of Pentacles was Russia wanting to keep what they've got.
Yeah, and they're not going to.
So
okay, so for me, will Ukraine get NATO? Ace of Swords with the Four of Wands. Absolutely, they will. It's a victory. They're going to be invited in because they have shown the world that they've shown the world who they are, and they would represent what is best in NATO. They are the country that represents, we fought for this, we defended ourselves for this, we've worked tirelessly with you for this, and more than maybe any other member nation in NATO, they deserve it. So to me, that's a strong yes. They will get in there, and maybe that's part of the compromise is Russia gets to hold on to some country, some part of Ukraine, but Ukraine's now in NATO, so Russia ain't going to be doing squat about that anymore, type of thing. That is a possibility. Let's see.
Yeah, and to Raymond DePasquale's comment, Russia is not doing well economically. I think that's ultimately what is going to force Russia to come to the bargaining table in earnest. And none of this crap that Trump's throwing out there that, they're already offering to not take over all of Ukraine.
That doesn't really sound like him.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel like doing a Trump invitation. I'd rather do something more squawky.
Okay.
Who ever heard of a Charlie in the box? Ooh.
How about this one?
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe she's going to trade her podium for the desk that they took out.
Right. That's for those that are wondering why. Sarah Sanders, she was the mouthpiece for the Trump administration. Lazy-eyed Miss Piggy, for the greatest memes about her. But it's a new game in town. In the first go around, Trump would only give money to red states and he wouldn't give money to blue states.
Yep.
And so the Trump supporters, the governors, thought, that's the game. That's what's going to happen here. He's making all this rhetoric about, not giving money for FEMA, but he'll make an exception for us. No, he won't. Welcome to the new game. He doesn't.
Yeah, this is the Doge era where all government spending is bad. Okay, so is she still have her panties all in a bunch? Okay, Knight of Wands, taking actions, seeing how I've given you all these great things and you can't even give me pennies in return when we need it.
Exactly. Help a brother out.
Yeah, I was there for you when you needed
I gave you the best years of my life.
Yeah. This is I seek justice, or what you're doing is not justice. And King of Cups. This card has just been perplexing.
That's like trying to appeal to his emotional side.
Yeah,
his
and
compassionate side, you know?
it's just not there. He
It's not
doesn't
there.
care.
Exactly. Welcome to the wonderful world of sociopathy.
Yeah, so are panties still in a bunch? Yeah, I suspect so. That's what I'm getting from those cards.
Yeah. Yeah. She can't understand the betrayal. Okay, let's see what else do we have here.
Amy Sanders. Those would be French panties that she bought on the trip with her gal friends.
No kidding. We're obsessions now.
Oh my. Thank you. I think.
Start singing 80s one-hit wonder songs.
Exactly.
You are my obsession. All right. This one, I always shy away from natural disaster things. I've tried to read on like hurricanes, and I was not real happy with it. I think though, Katie and Brad, you can clarify this if you want, because I don't think Gary's ever heard about this. They're talking about 3 days of darkness, and I don't know if that's a Native American prediction but they're talking about 3 days of darkness, and the impacting the United States are impacting the world. And the analogy that was given with the 3 days of darkness, it would be like the 9/11 attacks, where, you know, all the petty squabbling stopped. And you think about Gary and I live near San Francisco International Airport. We grew up near there.
I was working there,
and I was living right next to the airport on the southern part of it. And they shut down the airport for what, like a week?
They had a ground stop. Yeah, it was about a week.
It was about a week. I mean, it's a week of not seeing jet airplanes taking off and landing, and they land what, 2 planes every minute, or usually in a staggered landing.
Yeah, it depends if it's a bank of flights coming in, if there's a bank. But yeah, there's a lot of traffic that comes through SFO.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, not seeing jet aircraft in the air, not hearing them taking off. Mm-hmm. Lord knows, in my mom's house, we were about 100 yards west of the flight path. And
they came out not directly over our house, but within a few houses.
Yeah. The girl I was dating in high school, her house that they were renting was under. I mean, you watch the fuselage go over the house.
Yeah.
So we were about 100 yards west of there. And, you know, they didn't have they were full throttle leaving the airport. And those 747s, good Lord, could they rattle the windows to the point where you just stopped your conversation. You had to just pause for 30 seconds to let the plane go by so that you could start talking again. Eventually there were lawsuits and noise abatement things. Everybody got double pane windows, and the airport agreed to, you know, only throttle the planes up to like 80% for a bit, which is, as a passenger, I don't like that. I'm on full throttle, baby, because they're going full throttle, then they back off, and you lose that momentum, and it's like you expect you're going to drop out of the sky. But disasters are going to be a large number of states impacted. Oh, going back to this one, I was trying to visualize what that might look like. You know, is it an illness? Is it an assassination attempt? Is it, you know, a small meteor wiping out a city type of thing? It's like, what could possibly do something like that? Maybe nothing happens, but let's see. A little four-cutter on that one. I got wild. I don't normally have reversals, but I'll read it as a reversal. People losing a lot of money. People losing a lot of money, or a wealthy person falls. There's a progression, a victory, but it's like a look at me victory. People aren't sure what's going on. It's wild. This could be a stock market, like a big stock market crash. There's a loss of money. There's a victory, or there's leadership. This could be This could be a very wealthy or powerful person. God, what is this? The downfall of wealth. I'm not sure what to make of that. I don't know. I don't know how to read that. I don't even know if you know how to read that one.
Well, I was doing a little research because I remember Spain had this huge problem with their grid going down.
Yeah,
and they still don't know what caused that, other than it was an extraordinary event. What? Ooh. Okay, so let's just speculate for a second.
Let's say Putin goes down and his government has control of. Let's say they have viruses inside your power plants, because they do. And as a giant FU to the world, let's go ahead and launch that ransomware attack. And you shut down power plants, you shut down air traffic controller type things, it's the banking system. If they shut down, if there are viruses in the banking system and you shut that down, you paralyze the world economy.
Yep.
I think I think if it happens, that 3 days of darkness, it would be something like that. It's going to be like the paralyzation of the money markets.
Well, in the case of Spain, it was literal, because it wasn't just the banks. They lost their power grid. So you don't have lights, you don't have your banks, you don't have communication. And if that was a cyber attack, yeah, I could see where that could be. If they were successful in getting some malware, this could have been like a test run to see how well will it do.
Right.
I mean, it's a total conspiracy theory, but it's possible. A Chilean starving Arnold. Yes, he does. He wants it like North Korea.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
any one of those countries.
Scrappy B.
Let's hit it with this last one here.
End of June, the NATO top will take place in The Hague. Trump is starting a boycott. Will he or will he not be present? What will that mean for NATO? Oh, to take place.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Trump not going, because it depends. If he could get more headlines by not going, he won't go. But he always wants to be the center of attention. He wants to be, everyone's looking at me.
Yeah. Not to mention, he might start getting really uncomfortable if he walks into The Hague. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crimes against humanity and all that. Get used to this courtroom, pal. Okay.
See, will he be there or not? So, I think Dave kind of put his finger on it. I don't want to go into The Hague. They might judge me. There's a lot of people that are unhappy with me, and it's like he feels like he won't be welcomed for some reason.
Can't imagine why.
Like seven of wands, having to defend himself, and everything is going to be out there in the open. If he doesn't go, it's because he's a scared little boy.
It's not all about him.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes here. Get ready to wrap up. It's question and answer time.
Yay! Haven't we been doing that?
We haven't done question. Well, that's political questions.
Oh.
Now it's ask Gary, what does he mean by wooden spoon survivor?
Oh God. I think
where do you get a fantastic clock like that black clock on the wall behind you?
Yes. So
is David really a Marxist?
For those of you that came late, My wife got this from Japan. It's got kittens and sharks, which I don't know who came up with that combination. It should have been batteries and sharks, but
Yeah, exactly.
She loved it. So she thought that since everyone likes the Kit Kat clock up on the wall, that they would love this clock that's completely invisible. All you see is this shiny bit of plastic reflecting the light against it. So that's what I got. Yeah, Mark Boy. I'm very familiar with the wooden spoon. Yeah, so are we.
As did J Cat Lady.
And
she was weaponizing it.
Yep, that was the 70s for us. What is my favorite beer? Well, they don't make my favorite any longer. It was Anchor Steam. It was a local, long produced beer out of San Francisco. I am a big fan of 805. I'm a big fan of Paul Anner. I'm a big fan of Samuel Adams. So I tend to like the lagers and pills, but I'm always good for a porter or a stout too. What breeds are each of your cats? Laura did a DNA test on Punky. Punky's the white cat that showed up earlier, and he was a mix of everything. He had ragdoll in him, which we love that because it's the cat that when you pick him up, he's like, no, don't pick me up. So he kind of looks like a Turkish Angora, he and his sister. And then Kakuna is a Tabby and Abyssinian mix.
And for my cats, which are on the thumbnail, I had to scramble to get a thumbnail up. So that's why there's a picture of Nico and Elle on it. Nico is a black cat. I don't know what breed he is. And Elle is like a Frankenstein cat. She is made up of the parts of many different type of cats.
Yes. Mostly cheetah.
Yes, mostly cheetah. So Nico's the house panther and Elle is the house cheetah.
It's always the house panther.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the Savannah Bananas play on YouTube?
Yes. Yes, I have. Those guys are great.
And I joined the wait list a couple years ago to get on there, and didn't qualify for the tickets on that one. That would have been a fun one to take my mom to, because she knows enough about baseball where she'd be entertained, and watching them be goofy would be extremely entertaining.
Oh, Mom would love the Savannah Bananas. Absolutely.
What's on my T-shirt? It's Groucho Marx with the revolutionary one, and then it says Marxist on the bottom.
Because you are a Marxist.
I am a Marxist.
The Marx Brothers was one of my dad's favorite comedy groups.
Yes, my dad loved comedies, and we got introduced to a lot of good ones through him. Not the least of which would be like, Mel Brooks, Ernie Kovacs, the Marx Brothers. He loved Abbott and Costello, which, no offense to Abbott and Costello, but I would put them on a tier below.
Abbott and Costello, they had some great bits. Yeah, but the Marx Brothers was they were in our house, at least they were a whole nother level above.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. And Mel Brooks is just amazing.
Yeah. Because like Abbott and Costello, Who's on First is an absolutely amazing sketch, but you can't carry a movie on Who's on First.
Right. And then for like Gary and myself, we would take it further with Monty Python.
Yeah.
And pretty much any Abrams Zuckers movie that's is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where Not Gary is these days. I got to go find him. I did a quick search for him the other day, and he wasn't where I thought I left him. So I got to check with Laura to see if she's seen him around. He's around somewhere. I just got to go find him.
We were fraternal twins for the first 50 years of our life.
That's true.
And we've been identical twins since then.
Yes. Yeah. So
Gary will explain the story on that, why that makes sense.
Okay. So just so you know, my mom didn't know she was having twins until she had twins a month premature. And the doctor told her that we were fraternal. And I don't know why she would have believed the doctor that couldn't tell her she had two kids in there until the second one popped out. But Dave and I did a DNA test. We're identical twins.
Yeah. To the surprise of no one in our family.
Yes, exactly. A technology.
Now, back in the day, they used to look at the placental sac and see if there was a barrier or not. If there was a barrier, they assumed it was fraternal twins. If there's no barrier, they assumed it was identical twins. And they were right 70% of the time, but that means they were wrong 30% of the time, and they lost the coin flip twice on that one.
Yep, they did.
And when we did the DNA test, Mom was like, I don't know why you're doing that. You're fraternal twins.
Yeah. That was exactly what she sounded like when she said it, too.
Yes, exactly.
When we're tired.
Exactly. Just as one of the things out there, our videos are recorded during the day or during the evening, but we schedule them on YouTube to come out at midnight. Which is why you might see daylight coming through like the windows here.
Yes.
It was a consistent way of putting out a video at the same time every day. So for the night owls, for the insomniacs on the East Coast, they come out at 3 a.m.
Yes.
For the night owls on the West Coast, they come out at midnight. For like the 3 fans in Hawaii, they get it at the remarkably sensible hour of 9 o'clock in the evening, depending on when there's a time change.
And if your name's Rebecca and you like sunflowers, it comes out at about 7 o'clock at night.
Exactly. Yeah, and in the UK and in Australia, it comes out 5 hours earlier in the evening, 7 o'clock at night, the following day.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Go to the bottom here. You did that one.
But Raymond, to your question, when I had kids, I never slept. I was constantly being pulled out of sleep.
Right. And if I could lose about 70 pounds, we'd look even more like. The way it found me and it loves me, it gives me a big hug. Of course, my eating habits are horrific, so that doesn't help matters.
Well, you know what was probably happening, Karen? In Karen's defense, she was probably started watching some of those other Twin Tarot brands.
Well, yes, the bargain basement ones.
Yeah, where they pretended to be twins as a gimmick.
When Trump got first elected in 2017 is when I started watching tarot a lot. I've had tarot readings done before. I'm the one person in the family that's been seeking out spiritual guidance since my late teens, and very much to the fascination of my siblings. You had a psychic reading. What was it like?
Absolutely.
And I would watch Dr. Lena Rodriguez. That's who I first started watching, amongst others. And then, Rosie from Insights and Revealing Light Tarot, that sort of thing. The Empress, still Darkness Between the Waters. So it's still Between the Waters. Forgetting her name now. But right before COVID, I started taking lessons with Dr. Lena, and then I dragged Gary kicking and screaming into this about a year ago.
That's true. That is so true. He worked on me for months to do this.
Right. All right. Let's just go ahead and wrap it up here. Let's save our thanks. Thank you everybody for joining us today. Really do appreciate it. Sorry again for the last minute nature of this. Gary and I decided yesterday to do this at noon today, and I realized at quarter to 12 this morning that I never set up the StreamYard stream, which means that we didn't have it on the live page, which would have given you 24-hour notice that this was going to happen.
Well, I did throw something out on the community page that we were going to do it, so at least they weren't completely hamstrung by that. I absolutely love doing the live streams. I truly do read every single comment you folks make, except for the ones that go into the YouTube penalty box. I don't spend as much time in the YouTube penalty box as I should. But it's just so nice to connect with all of you out there and hearing what you have to say and getting feedback on how the readings have gone. And the live streams are a lot of fun because I can do it in real time, and it's just a lot of joy. You folks bring a lot of joy for us.
And it's nice to have the interactions.
You know, absolutely.
We'll be sitting here. What do you want to read on? I don't know. What do you want to read on? This is more Gary and my style because we're very off the cuff people, and we can,
you can tell by all
literally the production quality. The planning for this live stream was we talked a little bit about Marjorie Taylor Greene, then just hit go.
Yep, and we'll see where it goes from there.
We'll ad-lib the rest.
Absolutely.
Okay, everyone. Thank you very much again for joining us.
Really quick, the YouTube penalty boxes. Sometimes if you've got certain words or certain phrasings, YouTube will flag it and put it in the hold for review. And I don't do a great job of going into the hold for review to check out what's going on there. So there's certain words that will land you in there.
Exactly. If you reference the German government in the late 30s, early 40s, that rhymes with Yahtzee, that will get you put in there.
Those comments tend to make it there. Or if there's a pew pew event and you call it something that doesn't rhyme with pew pew, but it rhymes with manassination, that could put you into the YouTube penalty box. It's just, or it's clearly some of the more vulgar phrases like "truck you" can get you in there. So it's just that they won't appear in the comment section, and I'm pretty busy, so I don't always have time to go through the penalty box to see who is behaving in the sandbox or not.
Right. Oh. It's like Sheila Lopez. She's always in there. So. Right. Thank you, Nicholas, for the donation. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, no, Nicholas, it totally could be. Because Dave was going down that path, and I was seeing it more as maybe a power grid type of attack, which would definitely have a broader impact on those. But yeah, absolutely, it could be. Appreciate that. Secret card of
thank you. Time to go. Let's give both a secret card, and then we'll end this one here.
Okay. Oh, it would have been great if we had the same one. I've got the 7 of Wands. Go out there and
the Knight of Wands.
Yes, we're both taking actions here. Yours an offensive, mine's a defensive action.
Yeah, develop a plan, stick to the plan. It's one of the things, if you develop a plan, you can make adjustments to it as the environment around it changes. But at the same time, if you've thought something all the way through and you've done a good job thinking it through, stick to it, you'll reach your goals.
Yes, you'll keep moving forward.
All right. Thank you, everyone, again for joining us. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care.
Bye, folks.